Good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday. Tuesday. Is it a terrific Tuesday? It is not Taco Tuesday. I guess someday I should actually make tacos on Tuesday, and then it would actually be Taco Tuesday. But that's not to be today. Good morning, Sue. Hello, Sherilyn. Hey, Vicki, good morning. Oops, I need to drain that off. Hey, Patty. I don't think I've seen you on here before. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. So I hope that, I don't know how many of you watched yesterday, but so I'm going to ask Vicki and Sherilyn, did it remind, and Lisa, good morning, Lisa, or good afternoon, Lisa. Did it remind you of an old HG mix? Did it? Because if you remember, we had that one that was sesame ginger dressing or something. And if you added peanut butter to it, you could make that great salad. And so it was kind of based on that. So I don't know if you guys remembered that. Good morning, Carol. Hey, Bitsa, good morning. How was your fame? Did your family ooh and ah because you are now famous? A whole show devoted just to Bitsa. I'm wondering how that went. Vicki, Sherilyn, yep, you remembered. Good. It was one of my favorites because I thought it was so easy. Because, you just mixed up basically the sauce and you made some pasta. If you wanted chicken in there, you could put it in there. If you had leftover turkey, you could do that. And otherwise, you just threw some frozen veggies in there. And so for me, it was like one of my favorite mixes. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. Hi, Nell. Vicki, the dessert too. Yeah. The dessert too because of the cheesecake mix. I know. I missed that because I used it for everything. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Bitsa, you are famous. Good morning, Jessica. I hope you're feeling better. We missed you. Yeah, so, you can't have... so I worked for Homemade Gourmet for years. I think I started in 2003 and was a distributor, and sold mixes and did home shows for years. And then ended up working in the home office as the director of research and development. And so I love cooking and I love coming up with new things. But yeah, the old HG mixes obviously have an impact on some of the things that I cook. Kathy Spivey, good morning. Good to see you. Hey, Joanne. Good morning. Miss all the mixes in my pantry staples. I do too. Because I think if you ever got accustomed to using the pantry staples, it just became second nature. I think the two I probably missed the most was the basic cheesecake and the chicken enchilada soup mix. Those were my two favorites that I think I used all the time. Gayleen, good morning. Gayleen and I went to law school at OU together. So good to see you, Gayleen. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're doing two things today. The first is familiar, and quite frankly, when I first started, I think before I had an apparatus and before I started this page, I think it was just on my personal page, I had already made it. But then for dessert, we have a special guest, so that'll be fun. If you think it's my husband, it's not. He's working today. So good morning, Benji. Hello to you and your whole family. Peggy, hello. Hey, Peggy, has the puppy been adopted yet? Or are you still fostering? Peggy actually is a foster for one of the collie rescue agencies here in Texas. So, hello, Shirley. Good morning. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm making beef stew. And let me explain why I'm making beef stew. The first reason is stew meat is very cheap. I mean, comparably so, of meats that you're buying. And so when I buy stew meat, I always buy the big family pack, the huge one. As you look at those and you say, I could never use that much stew meat. However, I take it, now this is a gallon size, so I probably shouldn't have used a gallon size, but I divide it into thirds. So I get that big old thing of stew meat, and then I divide it into thirds and I put it in a freezer bag. And that way I have just enough for our family for stew. We're still fostering, but did get a nibble this week. They aren't doing home visits right now, so we'll see. Well, he looks like just a lovely puppy, so I hope he finds his forever family, his forever family. Good morning, Linda. How are you? Lena, my friend Lena's watching. Lena works at the Adventure Preschool, and so she's been doing videos for the kids, like on planting things and different experiments with food color and stuff like that. So that's been fun to watch as well. Okay, so we're getting ready, and we're just, like I said, gonna do some beef stew. So I'm gonna put you over here. You know that over here is not my favorite place to put you, but it'll do. It'll do. Except, hold on. I'm gonna lift this up because I like it up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Kind of crooked. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do beef stew. Like I said, the reason I do beef stew, I like beef stew is because it's a cheaper cut of meat. Now, because it's a cheaper cut of meat, that means that it's not as tender, like if you bought tenderloin or steak. Alicia, so good to see you. Man, it's an HG reunion on here, isn't it? Anyway, so stew meat is kind of tough. So it's not like you could just sear it off and then start eating unless you needed a chew exercise. Nyang, 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 right? So it needs to cook a long time. It's an excellent recipe to do in a slow cooker if you want to do that. And when I used to work full-time, then I did that. I did it a lot in a slow cooker. But since I've been home, I tend to do it on the stovetop. I have a big, huge, and I've shown you this before, but it's like a cast iron stew pot or soup pot or stock pot, whatever you want to call it. It's very heavy and it's purple, so you know I like that. And for me, it keeps everything in there. You certainly could. Good morning, Nancy. Nancy too. Nancy. Well, let's see. Oh, Deb's on here. Hey, Deb. Two Nancys. Nancy and Nancy. Nancy squared. Ashley, oh, my friend Ashley, good to see you, sweetheart. I hope you and the girls are doing well. Dutch oven, they are also called Dutch ovens. And that's the other thing. You can do this on stovetop with a pot like this, or you can do it in the oven, either way. Totally up to you. I tend to leave it on the stovetop, and part of that is because I like to check it every now and then, give it a stir, and check out what the liquid level is. So we're gonna get started. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of oil or butter. Now, I have the butter in my cow dish. This is my cow butter dish. Isn't he cute? Moo! Or she. No, it's a he. Anyway, so I'm just gonna get 2 tablespoons of butter because it's already soft in there. That's why I like my cow butter dish. Turn that on and we'll melt that. I've told you that when I do bacon and you're sauteing onions, you never put the onions in first and then put the bacon in if you need the bacon to crisp up, because the liquid released by the onions will prevent the bacon from crisping. I don't really care about my meat, whether it's crisp or not, because I'm just cooking it. So as our butter melts in there, melting butter, yum, or oil, you can use whatever you have. Some people use coconut oil, some people use vegetable oil, some people use canola oil. All the oils are fine. If you want to be naughty and use a little bacon fat, that's fine too. Michelle, hello. Michelle posted the funniest thing on Facebook today about people who do posts with, I don't know, like filters, you know, where it makes you look prettier or have a mask or whatever. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. So, all right. So this is my stew meat. This is about a pound. Like I said, I got the big family pack, and then I divide it into thirds. If you are my friend Benji, she has a huge family and big, strong boys. And so she's feeding 3 boys. And so if she was making this, and she would probably have to get the family pack and then make all of it for all of her big, strong boys, I think. So good morning, Sandy. Good to see you. All right, so again, this was from my freezer. I just subdivided it up, and I'm just gonna dump this in with my oil and or butter, okay? Ugh. Okay. Now, we season in layers, remember? We're just going to put a little brown on that. So we're going to do salt. How much salt? Do a half a teaspoon or teaspoon. Doesn't matter. Half a teaspoon. And some pepper. You just want to cover the top of everything. And like I said, we're doing our first layer of seasoning. I'm going to put in some smoked paprika because you know that is like behind salt and pepper. That is like my favorite seasoning. Yum! And so those flavors, because we're putting those seasonings on as our meat browns, those flavors will be in the meat a little bit more than everything else. Okay. The other thing is with stew meat, you can, check it out. If there are big chunks of stew meat, maybe you want to cut it into smaller pieces. Again, wholly up to you, but the smaller you cut things up, the further it goes, the more people it feeds, right? Benji, yes, you do use the whole pack, I think, and then some. Okay. All right, so I've got my meat in here, and quite frankly, it's already got a brown tinge on one side, so that's a good thing. I have, and as you know, anything that goes on the stovetop you've seen, I pretty much do always the mirepoix, right? Our onion, our celery, our carrot, and our garlic. That being said, because this is beef stew, I'm not going to cut up my carrots in a small dice like I normally would, because my carrots are going to be part of the vegetable that's going in to the pot. I'm putting another dish. There you go. I like that better. Okay. Actually, you know what's great about this is the meat is releasing some of its juices, so that's great. It's not all the way brown, so we still have a few red pieces in there, but that's fine. One onion diced up. One onion diced up. Okay? Dump that in the pot. Now, I used 2 stalks of celery, which is a little more than I normally use. But remember, this is part of our meal, so we want this yummy. 2 stalks of celery, diced or sliced, and then we're going to need some garlic. Again, I'm using this roasted garlic cloves. It's just my favorite. You don't have this? Use powdered garlic. Use about a teaspoon of powdered garlic. And you know what? I'm dumping the whole thing in there. So it's yummy. Of course, now I'm out. I'm totally out. Out. That's bad. Watch this. I'm going to mess with your heads, with your phones. Ready? Alexa, add garlic to the grocery list. Okay, it's on my grocery list now. Yay. I don't know when I get to go to the grocery store. Hey, Charm. Love your kitchen. So big and roomy. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the reason one of the main reasons we bought this house was this kitchen. It was funky when we moved in, and it was really dirty and gross, and it hadn't been updated ever. And the stovetop was in the center island, which would be much better for this kind of thing, because then you could be across from me. But I didn't like it. It had a stovetop a vent that came down in the middle, and it just, ugh. So I moved everything, and I added gas, because I don't like electric stoves. Okay, we're just going to give that a stir. Oh, so good. So good. All right, so that's cooking down. Now, what else goes in my stew? So we have meat. Really, most people, because we've got onions, we've got celery, we've got some garlic, and really a traditional beef stew is potatoes and carrots. I have diced up, I'm going to say between 4 and 6 potatoes. Maybe you don't like that many potatoes, but in our house, there is definitely a difference in the potato-carrot ratio. Not everybody digs the carrots, but everybody wants the meat and the potatoes. So there's usually a lot more potatoes because I have to make my family happy, right? So there's a lot more potatoes. Kazan Campbell, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. Hello, Kazan, and welcome. I love garlic. Now you get to come to H-E-B and buy more. You know, I've never seen it at H-E-B. That's weird. I always buy it at Kroger. I've never seen it at H-E-B. Huh, I'm gonna have to look for it now. Okay, so normally when I put my onions and celery in here, and I've told you this several times, we're waiting for the onions to become translucent. We don't really need that right now, because it's going to cook for hours. I mean, well, a couple of hours at least. Some people will do the meat and stuff first and put the potatoes and carrots in later. Everything goes into the pot. Now, before I put my potatoes and carrots in, I'm gonna deglaze my pan a little bit because when I cooked the meat, let me see if I can pick this up. It's very hot. Okay, I'm gonna pick this up and do a tilt so maybe you can see. Can you see the brown? Can you see the brown on the edge? Ooh, let me go this way. On the edge of the pot, you see all that brown stuff? Yep, going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so all of that is from the meat. And it has great flavor in it, so you don't want to lose it, right? So I'm taking, this is 32 ounces of beef broth. 32 ounces. It's a big thing. If you do not have beef broth, now wait, before I say that, as you're pouring it in, take your spoon or your spatula and go along the sides and the bottom, right? So that, you can't see me. Let me go this way. Oh, I gotta move that. Hold on. I gotta move that this way, right? No. That way. That way, so you can see my microwave. Oh, better. Okay. So, kind of use your spatula and scrub down your sides of your bowl and the bottom of the bowl. And that way, you're getting all those, the chefs all call it, this is the famous chef term, really, brown bits. Like that's a really, but anyway, that is what you're doing. You're getting all the brown bits off of the bottom, okay? Squirting the last of the beef broth in there. You're saying that's nowhere near enough water. It's not. I'm probably gonna add some more. But now I wanna thicken it up. So I'm adding all my liquid stuff first, and then I'm gonna add the potatoes and carrots last, just because I need to, it's harder to stir the liquid stuff together. I am gonna put in a can of, no, I'm gonna do that second. Okay, jar. I have a jar. You can use a can. This is just beef gravy. Now, tell me that you don't have beef stock or you don't have a can of beef gravy. Obviously, you can do all this from scratch. You can make a beef gravy very easy. Gravy is, equal parts of flour and fat. So flour and butter or flour and grease or whatever like that. Hello, Danielle. I missed what kind of beef. Just stew meat. Just stew meat. Hey, Kathy. Kathy is also, she is also a foster mom for a collie rescue here in Houston. A different one. Kathy does the one that's kind of up here in North Houston, and Peggy is on the collie foster rescue, like South Houston. So anyway, I'm very impressed with both of them. I think the collies are such beautiful dogs. Anyway, I got the beef gravy. So easy gravy, equal parts of flour and fat, flour and butter, flour and oil. You make a roux into that. The longer that you kind of cook it on there, the darker that it gets. And then you add your liquid. So you could add milk or, people used to add coffee. Anyway, milk. Then you're going to do that, and then you'll get your gravy, okay? If you have beef bouillon, you can add beef bouillon on the, several of the cubes of beef bouillon, and you'll get that beef flavor. But, I mean, today, it's very easy to just go and buy beef stock or beef gravy. Those are easier things to find. The other thing I'm going to put in here, and this is just as a thickener, is I'm going to put a can of cream of something, soup. Now, you probably should use cream of mushroom soup, but I didn't have any cream of mushroom soup. All I had is cream of chicken soup, and really doesn't matter. Is the cow really going to be offended that I put the chicken in there? Get over it. Okay, so in goes my cream of whatever soup. Use cream of mushroom if you have it, right? A lot of people will put mushrooms in their beef stew, and I think I did the last time because I had them. You can use fresh mushrooms or canned mushrooms, doesn't matter. The kids don't necessarily like it, and I don't have any, so there you go. All right, I'm gonna use my spatula. I would normally use my whisk, but this is fine. It'll break it up. Just to break up the gravy and the cream of soup, okay? Now, once I put the other stuff in here, this will thicken up as it cooks. And you might have to add a little bit more water, but for people who like stew, like a thick gravy. So I don't know how you grew up. Did you grow up eating stew with a thick gravy, or was it more, Rachel Race calls it stoop.
So it's kind of a stew and a soup. And that's really what I make. I make more of a stew. So there's a lot more liquid because everybody likes liquid with their stuff. So if you grew up making it thicker and not as thin as I'm going to make it, you can always, here's a little trick. You can always get a bowl and put some instant mashed potatoes in the bowl and add hot water. And you don't want it, as thick as making mashed potatoes. Add more water and then add that to there and it'll thicken up quite a bit. So that's a little tip. Any kind of soup you're making or, things like that you need to thicken up. You could always use cornstarch and water, but I like the mashed potato idea because then you get some more flavor and some more heft to that. Stomp. Oh, stoop. Yeah, okay, I was like, stomp, stoop. Okay, so Renee, you had the thick gravy. And I think it's how you were raised and how your parents made it. All right, so I've got this on high. We're going here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add my potatoes and my carrots. Okay, when I chopped my potatoes, I had to put them in this dish. I just got this dish. And the pattern is called carnation. Is that gorgeous? I love this pattern. It's just happy. Oh wait, let me show you the other side because the other side actually has the little carnations. Oh, so pretty. Okay, in go my potatoes, trying not to splatter everywhere, but I failed. Okay, in go the potatoes. Oh, the pot is almost full. Now, we need to put our carrots in here, and you say you didn't chop up your carrots, and I'm not chopping, sorry, before the carrots. Can of diced tomatoes. If you don't have diced tomatoes, you can use tomato puree. You can use tomato sauce. You can use tomato paste. It is another layer of flavor. And so, like I said, if your family doesn't like the chunks of tomato, use tomato sauce, tomato paste, or a tomato puree, because then it just changes. It darkens. It makes it just a little bit more unctuous. Unctuous, what a great word, unctuous. All right, I have to tell you a funny story about the carrots. See this baby carrots, big old bag. I knew what I wanted when I wrote the grocery list. Of course, I can't go to the grocery store, but I was making a carrot cake using baby carrot food, right? So baby carrots, the mushy baby carrots. And any of you from HG, if you remember, I don't know if it was one of your favorite mixes, but it was one of my favorite mixes, was the carrot cake with the white chocolate frosting. And so when you made the carrot cake, instead of shredding up carrots, you put in 2 little jars of baby carrots, baby food, which looks gross, but it gave you the right color and the right texture, or, it was great. It was one of my favorite things, and it makes it so moist. So that's what I wanted. Well, of course, I'm not going to the grocery store, and so my youngest takes the list, and off she goes to the store. And I didn't really think about it, because when I wrote the list, I knew what I wrote. And I wrote on there, baby carrots, meaning baby food carrots, right? So she comes back, and I wrote 2, because I wanted 2 little jars. She came back with 2 of these huge bags of baby carrots. I just laughed. You need to pay attention when you do your list and give it to somebody else. Good morning, Melinda. All right, so in go the carrots. I'm gonna make a mess again. Oh, please don't splash on me. Please don't splash. And however many carrots, I used about half the bag. How big is this bag? This bag is 32 ounces, just 2 pounds. I used about half, so a pound of carrots. If you don't have baby carrots, see, this is lazy. Baby carrots are lazy. Obviously, just get some carrots and cut them up in whatever size chunks that you want to cut them in. Okay, now, I'm going to, oh my. I'm gonna do a little taste. Hold on, I need a spoon. I recommend that everybody does this. I know you go, oh, really, Cindy? But yeah, you need to taste. Okay, I know what it needs. This is what it needs. Worcestershire. That's what I forgot. You need a few shakes of Worcestershire. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 shakes. That's about a tablespoon, I do believe. And that's gonna get me the flavor that I want. Okay, that's it. Now, we're gonna bring this to a boil. Once this gets to a boil, I'm gonna take you out of here so you can see it. Eesh. Flipping the camera, are you ready? That was a great cake, so quick and easy. I know it was one of my favorites. Okay, flipping the camera.
Okay, there it is. You see how full it is? So you know the things that we put in. Whoops. The whole making it so that it's the right side is just driving me bazonkers. I'm not coordinated enough. Anyway, there you go. Let me do this on the top. Okay, so you see, we got our carrots. You can see the celery. You can see the tomatoes. You can see the onions. The meat's in there. It's all good and lovely. We're going to bring that to a boil. Then we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to cook it. I'm going to cook it all day. So as soon as it's done, as soon as it hits a boil, I'm going to put the lid on it. Lid. And then I'm going to turn it down to low, and then I'm just going to let it cook all day. If the water level gets too low, if it starts going down too low, I'm going to add a little water. Because I like that, we like that stoop versus the stew. If you like stew, don't add the water. As the water, it's, you know, as it concentrates, then you'll have a thicker sauce. So there you go. Hey, special guest. Okay, so now you have dinner, but now we need dessert, and this is the thing you need your kilt for. I have to tell you that I searched this entire house, and of all the costumes that we have, and all the fun and silly hats that we have, did I, in fact, have anything Scottish? No. I tried desperately to bring Sean Connery to you. Alas, no Sean Connery. Couldn't he just talk to you, and everything would be okay? You could be dying of coronavirus, and Sean Connery would say, I can't even make the words that he would say, but he would do it, and I would say, okay, Sean. Oh, I just love his accent. So nice. Okay, so special guest today is the youngest, Cassie, and she's going to make a Scottish favorite. So hold on, I'm going to put you in, and then I'm turning you over. Okay. Say hello, dear.
Hello.
Okay, let me fix this. Okay. You see yourself? Okay.
Okay, so today we're making extremely easy 3 ingredients. That's all you need. Scottish shortbreads. So what you're gonna need, she's gonna put the recipe in, but it's 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks softened, and sometimes when you're like making something, it's kind of like on a whim or you do it suddenly. So if it's not quite softened, you can put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Just make sure it's not melted. Hi, Jessica. Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry. And so then 2 sticks of butter or 1 cup of butter softened.
Wait, before she does the recipe, let's make an announcement.
What's the announcement?
You ready, the announcement?
Ta-da! I'm going to Austin College.
Austin College has been accepted. She accepted them. She's going to join the Roo Nation. It's the mascot is Katie the kangaroo. Everybody say, congrats, Cassie. Yay. Okay.
I was not expecting that. Okay. Anyway, so the first thing to do, and cooking, I mean, it's only 3 ingredients, so this isn't gonna be that long, but the first thing you do to make cookies is cream together the butter and the sugar, and so it's 1 cup of butter and half a cup of sugar, just plain white sugar. Thank you. So you just pour that in the bowl. Sorry.
Oh. Hey, Julia Hampton.
And then, big bowl. And then you take an electric hand mixer or stand mixer, whatever you want, and you just cream them together until they're fully combined. So, hold on. Like that. So fully combine the butter and sugar. Anyway, and so then, once those are mixed together, the only step left is 1.5 cups of flour, again, regular flour, and I would put this in like maybe half and half, and then a little more. And then I kind of like smush it into the mix first so it doesn't go poof everywhere when you actually turn on the mixer.
So Cassie, are you sad that you're missing your last semester of your senior year?
Yeah. I probably would have done a few things different if I knew that I wouldn't be going back. So I am kind of sad, but at the same time, I'm also glad that I'm done with the building of Klein High. It's 4 stories. Who wants to climb that every day?
I know. What would you have done differently?
I don't know. Done more like outings with my friends, I guess.
There you go.
Okay, now the rest of the flour.
Tell everybody what you liked about Austin College. Why did you pick Austin College?
Well, Austin College has like really, it has really good like science facilities, and that's like what I want to do. But also the people there seemed really nice, and it like really felt like I wasn't like, I mean, they say this all the time, but it really felt like I wasn't just a number. Like they really personalized the experience, and they were nice to me the entire way, and the people there seemed really nice, really great, and I just really enjoyed the experience. And like even the experience I've had with the admissions has been really great. So
That's good.
yeah. Okay. Whew. Okay. So the dough kind of looks like this. I mean, what can I say? It looks like cookie dough. And so it is a bit sticky, but what we're gonna do is what I like to do is I take this dough and I get a decent size, if you could cut that for me, please, piece of saran wrap, not too big, not too small. I lay it down on whatever surface, and then I take the dough and I wouldn't say plop, but I scoop it onto the saran wrap, making sure that like you get all the dough from the bowl. I don't know how to get that. There you go. Okay, close enough. And so what we're gonna do is take the sides and kind of fold it over, and if you want, so what a lot of people do when they store cookie dough like this is they try to make a perfect log or whatever, and then you put it in the fridge or freezer, wherever you prefer, and then once you take it out, you can just cut it up and have even cookies. But personally, yes, I am Cindy's daughter, the youngest. Oh, what do I, sorry, I didn't see. I want to be a medical researcher. I'm not completely sure which area, but...
Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Mary. Julie McLaren says she's sad that you're not going to Trinity. So.
Okay, sorry. So a lot of people just cut it up in perfect cookies or whatever, but that usually doesn't work for me. And so what I like to do is I just store it like this, because you don't have to do as many dishes. Then I take it out and I use a melon baller, because it makes like, here, like this one. And I just kind of like take chunks out of it, or you can like just put it in a ball and take chunks out. But what else you, and then roll it. And then, well, you can roll it, but I don't, the reason I use the melon baller is so my hands don't get sticky. What else you can do is you can take the dough, let it cool or whatever, and then flour a surface, and then flour a rolling pin, and then you can roll it out and like cut shapes. A lot of people do that with shortbreads, especially like for events or like seasonal things. But yeah, I just like to put it in the fridge or freezer and then scoop it out. And then once you are ready to make your cookies, you just get a baking sheet. I'm so sorry. A baking sheet with a piece of parchment or whatever you use to bake, and put it in the oven at 350 for 16 to 18 minutes. So, I mean, yeah.
Are they dark brown?
No. They should be a similar color to the dough, but like the outside's a little bit darker.
There you go.
And there you go. And now you have Scottish shortbreads.
Now, I will say that there are, you can say honey bunches, there are several recipes for Scottish shortbreads, and about half of them use brown sugar instead of white sugar. We never have, and again, I think that's just my mom. Sharmley, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bess, your daughter did medical research. Interesting. So, but we've never done it with the brown sugar. We may need to try that and see what the difference is, but we've always used just this. So funny story, when Cassie was in, I don't know what grade.
Fourth, fifth?
Fourth or fifth grade.
Fifth.
They were required to do a project from start to finish, and they had to make something. Now, they didn't have to cook, but they had to make something. And you had to document it as you went. So you had to take pictures, and you had to write down all the steps. So because shortbread cookies only have 3 ingredients, and basically you mix it all up and, you know, that's it, she did this. And so then you have to take the finished product to school. So we put it all in a big plastic container. You puts all the cookies in there and puts the lid on. And she gets to school and she takes the lid off. And what does the teacher say?
She said she could smell the butter from my seat.
There you go. She could smell the butter because there's a lot of butter in there. So that's, you know, 2 whole sticks. So anyway, there you go. She will be great at whatever she pursues. I agree. I agree she will. So
I'll try.
I know. So we had a special guest today. First, we made beef stew, which, you know, I think we've made before, but it's what I had, and I have to use up what I have. So, and then we got special guest, Cassie, who made some awesome shortbread cookies. Obviously, these need to go in the refrigerator for about an hour because you want the dough. The dough is very soft right now because the butter was at room temperature. So once you put it in the refrigerator, that butter is going to harden up again. And so this will be a very stiff dough. It'll be very, you know, it'll be solid. It won't like go in when you see it's like smushy now. And like she said, you can roll it into a log if you want, and then just take a knife. Although if you do that, like flour your knife. Take a knife, flour your knife, and then you can just do slices if you want. Our favorite store-bought brand was the Walker's brand. I don't know if you remember that, but it's a red box with the Scotland colors. She does something trials. Wait, she audited clinical trials all over the country for the FDA. Wow, that's great. My oldest daughter is Katie. My youngest daughter is Cassie. And the mascot for the school that Cassie's going to, Austin College in Sherman, Texas, is Katie the kangaroo. So that's probably where you heard. So we were jumping back and forth. Anyway, can't wait to go back and watch. Been working. So excited to watch later. Love shortbread cookies. Thanks, Cassie. All right, everybody. We hope you had a great day, a great time watching. We'll be back tomorrow, or at least I will. I don't know if I can convince her to come back. Hope you have a great day from our kitchen to your kitchen. I hope you have a wonderful dinner and a fantastic Scottish shortbread dessert. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.